ইয়াস স্যার শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? এয়ার স্যার শুনতে পাচ্ছেন?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, বলুন বলুন।
হ্যাঁ, শোনা যাচ্ছে।
আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা, বলছি যে মানে আমাদের ফ্যাকাল্টিতে কি কোনো পার্ট আছে? মানে কিছু বলার টলার কিছু আছে কি? মানে আমি হয়তো সবসময় লগ ইন করে থাকতে পারবো না, হয়তো উঠে উঠে যেতে হবে, তাই বলছি।
না, অ্যাক্সেস সেরকম কোনোই
এরকম
নেই।
কোনো
এবার
কিছু
যদি
আছে?
আপনি কিছু ডিসকাশন বা কোশ্চেন অ্যান্সারে
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ, সেটা
পার্টিসিপেট
তো
করতে
আচ্ছা,
চান না
আচ্ছা।
সেটাই।
আচ্ছা,
অন্য
ঠিক
কোনো
আছে।
মানে
শিডিউলে কিছু
না,
নেই
আমাদের
আরকি, ঠিক
শিডিউলে
আছে।
সেরকম ভাবে
হুম,
কিছু নেই।
হুম, হুম।
আমরা
ওকে।
ওই ডিসকাশনটা আমরা মেনলি ৩টে সেশনের পরেই করব।
আচ্ছা,
হ্যাঁ, আগে মানে সবাই ৩ জনের বলা হয়ে যাবে আরকি।
আচ্ছা। ঠিক, ঠিক। ওকে। না মানে ওই আরকি ব্যাপার, বাবার
না,
ব্যাপারটা
না,
নিয়ে সারাদিন
বুঝেছি,
ফোন-টোন
অবশ্যই,
করছি তো
অবশ্যই।
ওইজন্য মাঝে, মাঝে উঠে যাচ্ছি আরকি লগইন আছে
না, না,
করে।
কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। ঠিক, ঠিক।
না, না, ওটাতে অবশ্যই আপনি আগে ওদিকটা সামলান।
হুম, হুম। কালকে খুব টেনশন হয়েছে। রাত্রেবেলা যে স্ট্রোক হয়েছে ওই ব্যাপারটা তো আগে ছিল না। আগে
হুম,
সমস্যাটা অন্য ছিল। এখন সমস্যাটা আবার বেড়ে গেছে ব্যাপারটা। কি হবে সেটাও একটা খুব আর বাবাকে যিনি দেখেন তিনি তো এখানে নেই, সে ইউকে তে উনি এখন। যিনি ডাক্তার
ও
দেখেন লাস্ট 5
আচ্ছা,
ইয়ার্স।
আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা।
তো
তোমার
সেইখানে সেই অনলাইন কনসালটেশন করাটাও খুব চাপের হয়ে যাচ্ছে। উনি তো সবসময়
হুম,
বিজি
হুম,
মানে
হুম। হ্যাঁ,
কোথায়
সেরকম।
তুমি কোথানে? না তুমি কোথায়? মানে এখন কলকাতায় না এখানে আছো?
না আমি এখানে আছি। বাবার তো কাল মানে এমনি সমস্যা ছিল ওই কোমরে ব্যথা হয়েছিল, পড়ে গেছিল। সেইটাতে বাবা শুয়েছিল। এবার মা বুঝতে পারছে না যে এটা অন্য কোনো সমস্যা হয়েছে। তো সেহেতু আমরা এমনি
স্যার জয়েন করেছেন।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ, আমি একটু কথা বলে নিচ্ছি।
আচ্ছা ওকে ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে।
গুড মর্নিং স্যার। সমীর স্যার। No, hello.
Hi, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Right now you're audible.
Oh, thank you. Good morning to everybody.
Yeah. Good
গুড
morning.
মর্নিং স্যার, গুড মর্নিং।
So now you are in quarantine, no?
Yes, now I'm in quarantine. 15 days of home isolation is there.
Yes,
So
yes.
after that, job will be there. Yeah.
So basically, in which company you are going to join there?
It is known as Tech Resources, sir. It is a 100-year-old mining company. It is the biggest mining company in Canada. And yeah, very excited to join.
ওকে।
Okay, sir. Let's further join, and we'll start at 10 o'clock. 10
Yeah, sure,
p.m.
sir. Sure.
Sorry. Okay.
Good morning, madam.
Morning, Samtaman.
Good morning, ma'am.
Alok, 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 শোনা যাচ্ছে?
Yes, we are able to hear.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Most well, all of the not on his microphone. Should you
হ্যাঁ,
call him?
অলোককে আমি জিজ্ঞেস করলাম লাইভ স্ট্রিমিং কি লিংক পাঠাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ 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 হ্যাঁ,
আচ্ছা,
পাঠাবি
ওকে,
কথা হয়েছে।
ঠিক আছে, ওকে,
হ্যাঁ পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছি সবাইকে
ওকে।
ইউটিউব।
শর্মিষ্ঠা ম্যাম জয়েন করেছে মনে হচ্ছে। গুড মর্নিং ম্যাম। Morning, Ruchira. So all the speakers have joined. We'll start dot at 10 o'clock. Okay. Join for Good morning, Ruchira. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, Ruchira. Good morning, Sampadi. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
Hi, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Yes, Sami, you joined?
Yeah, I joined, ma'am.
Yes, I'm fine.
James sir, good morning. Can we start?
Yes, sir. Okay. Apurvo, please start.
অপূর্ব স্যার মাইকটা অন করুন।
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, respected speakers, our director, sir, different HODs, my dear colleagues, and dear students, for finding your time and attending today's webinar. Myself, Apurva Roy, Assistant Professor in the Department of Information Technology of our Institute, College of Engineering and Management, Kolaghat. We are gathered here for attending a webinar titled Post-COVID Career Opportunity in Information Technology. Right now, we are going through a very tough time due to this pandemic situation for COVID-19. Okay, so we are facing problem everywhere, but from this also we have to find the opportunity and we have to proceed. So I think whatever the topics we have chosen for today's discussion, post-COVID career opportunity in information technology, that is, I mean, very suitable and timely taken. As a distinguished speaker, we have with us Dr. Ruchira Noskar, Assistant Information Technology, IEST Sipur, Ms. Shampa Das, Associate Consultant, Tata Consultancy Service Limited, and Dr. Venkatauday Samir B, Data Scientist, Associate, JP Morgan, Bengaluru. So before we start our session, just for a little housekeeping, uh, I request all my students to switch off their microphone until and unless they have some question to ask. Okay, so we can take the questions at the end of the entire session, and I also request dear student, if you have any question, you can also write it in the chat box so that we can take it. In the later. Okay. So at the very beginning, I request Dr. Joydev Mishra, HOD Department of Information Technology, to give his welcome address. James, sir.
Thank you, Apurva. Respected Director Sir, honorable speakers, my dear colleagues, and my beloved students, a very good morning to all of you. Today from IT department, we are organizing our first webinar in this academic session on post-COVID career opportunities in information technology. On behalf of organizing committee, I welcome all our eminent speakers. Among all speakers, Dr. Ruchira Naskar is our alumni 2008 pass out batch. Currently, she is working as an assistant professor in Indian Institute of Engineering, Science and Technology, Shibpur. Other two speakers are from industry. Ms. Shampadas is from TCS, Kolkata, working as associate consultant, and Dr. Venkata Udaya Samir worked as data scientist associate in JP Morgan, Bangalore. Just 2 days before, actually, I came to know Dr. Samir has shifted to Canada with his new job and joining us from today from Canada only. Our speakers will share their thoughts on opportunities in information technology in post-COVID India and world. I'm quite sure from today's webinar, our participants will learn a lot about these complex issues which we are facing nowadays and take away better understanding that will guide them in discovering opportunities in information technology. With these few words, once again, welcoming all present here, I conclude myself. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Uh, I now request our director, sir, to offer his inaugural speech and request to, for this opening of this webinar.
Respected teachers, beloved students, and the invited speakers of the day, good morning to all of you. As you can see, I'm in the office, I'm in math. So, like this, we must maintain the COVID protocol, what we are listening again and again, and we must follow those in letter and spirit. So, keeping the COVID at the backdrop, the very apt webinar has been planned by our information technology department, that is post-COVID career opportunity in information technology. This is containing two major words. One is the information and other is the technology. Information, what we understand, is the exchange of meaningful knowledge. Either you are giving it to someone or receiving from someone. And by technology, we understand the use of basic science when we take it to the engineering, that how this basic science knowledge can be converted for meaningful use. And ultimate end product is the technology which is being used by humankind to make our life easier. Information technology, when we put them together, is the process basically by using the electronic equipment, the computer, for collecting and sending the information. And what we are communicating today through this Google Meet is nothing but use of technology. If you go back just 7 or 8 months back, we are not very much aware that this kind of meeting can be held where one is sitting at Kolaghat, other one is the Mahisadal, and someone is so far in Canada. We're all communicating using this information technology, which is connecting us together. So I welcome again our speakers, and I'm sure with their expertise, the students, those who have joined, they will be getting immensely benefited. And again, I tell the student, you can clarify your doubt at the end of the webinar, and you can use your chat box to pose the question. With this, I hand over to Apurva sir. Kindly take the proceeding further. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we will now start the session. But before starting the session, let me introduce our present speaker, Dr. Ruchira Noskor. Dr. Ruchira Noskor is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, IIEST Shibpur. She has completed her PhD in Computer Science and Engineering and MTech in Information Technology, both from IIT Kharagpur in 2014 and 2010 respectively. As our HOD sir already mentioned, she has passed from our own institute in 2008. So major thrust area of her research include cryptography, multimedia security, and digital forensics. She has been associated with multiple research projects as the principal investigator sponsored by different Indian government agencies including DST, BRNS, SARF, CSIR, etc. She has recently received a Young Scientist Research Award from BRNS and Early Career Research Grant from SARF. She has over 60 publications in the journals and conferences of international repute. I now hand over the control to Dr. Noskor and request her to start the session.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the nice introduction. Good morning to all the students. Good morning, sir, Apurva sir, James sir, director sir. So let me quickly start with my presentation. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But it is not in presentation. Okay, yes, now it is coming.
Okay, thank you. So, as Apurva sir has already introduced me, I am currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of IT, IIEST Shibpur, which formerly was BESU. All of you, at least many of you must be knowing. So here is the outline of my presentation today. I shall briefly speak about my academic career, followed by my research thrust areas, and then quickly move on to career opportunities in information technology. And then we shall very briefly discuss that what should be your focal areas for the undergrad IT students. What should be the focal points, which subjects you should ponder upon so as to have a fruitful career in IT. And finally, I shall conclude with some emerging trends in the present days in information technology. So let us get started. Here is my academic biography. You could have a look at it. So I have completed my PhD in 2014 from IIT Kharagpur. Prior to that, I did my MTech. I completed it in 2010 from IT department in IIT Kharagpur, whereby I had worked in cryptography. And my PhD area was digital watermarking, which basically is, you can say, a subdomain in multimedia security, and it relates to cryptography as well. In 2008, I had passed out from CEMK and I did my BTech in IT department of CEMK. So about my professional career, I had been associated with NIT Rourkela, where I worked as an assistant professor for 5 years since 2014 to 19, and after which I moved recently to IIST Shibpur in May 2019. That is, it has been around 1.5 years. So that is about what I did in the job front. A brief overview of what exactly I do, my research areas. So since my days at NIT Rourkela, followed by IIST Shibpur, I have been working in digital forensics, where I have guided some PhD students, as well as I have been handling some projects funded by some agencies, Indian government agencies such as BRNS, ACRB, as Apurva sir has already he has introduced. Um, During my PhD, I used to work in multimedia security and digital rights management. Right. So this is about my research. Some of you might be interested in what exactly I do. So I shall take maybe a couple of minutes to explain to you what exactly I do, what is my area of research. So as I told, I work in digital forensics. Um, Fourth year students might be having some courses in security. If you have, or maybe you have come across computer security, cryptography, these terms from other sources as well, because these are very popular today. So as you know, these techniques are there, say cryptographic techniques or computer security. When we say, we are talking about maintaining privacy, right? We are talking about maintaining security of digital data which we maintain on our, which we have on our computers or we share on a day-to-day basis, right? So all the security techniques which you have in the present day, most of them, they work on a pre-processing based approach. What do I mean by that? What I mean is, suppose you want an email to be transmitted securely from your end to my end, let us say. So in that case, what you will do is you will adopt some privacy preserving techniques. What exactly you would do? Maybe you will encrypt. So what are you doing? When you are transmitting over the insecure channel, prior to that, you are taking up some precautionary measures. I have given two examples. One is the digital watermarking technique, another one is steganography. In any other case, let us say encryption, right, or digital signature, before transmitting the data, you take up whatever precautionary measures you need to, right? What I work on is digital forensics, which is a newer branch of computer security. And whatever steps you take to preserve security or privacy or authenticate a certain digital data is post-processing based, right? So I have written it is solely post-processing based investigation. So there is some sensitive data which you are trying to transmit over an insecure channel, which possibly got forged during the transmission. You perform analysis. You can see after being transmitted, the analyst is doing his job, and finally you identify whether the data is forged, tampered, or it is authentic. Right. So this is what I work on. To be more specific about the problems, I work on source investigation, that is given, let us say, a multimedia file like an image. We do not know whether it has been captured by a convict's camera. Say an image which relates to child pornography. We need to track its source. We do not know. You have doubt on somebody and you are accusing him, but that person denies. What to do? So here is our job. We do some forensic investigations to prove with certain accuracy that yes, this indeed is the person or he is innocent, right? The second problem that I work on is doctored image detection. To briefly tell about this, you know, nowadays a lot of very popular and cheap software many times free software are there by which you can Photoshop images. We say photoshopping images, right? So we modify the images in such a way that it is extremely natural looking, but it is a synthetic image, right? So we detect those kind of images which are computer generated, they are not natural. And you know that images, videos are they work as the primary sources of evidence towards a lot of crime scenes in the legal industry, media and broadcast industries, right? So we cannot rely straightforward on an image which is given to us. Before that, we need to authenticate it. So here are the formal techniques on which we work, right? Then there are other problems like format specific image forensics and counter forensics. If any of you are interested, we can take those up online. Due to time constraint, I think these two problems are the major focal areas right now. With that, I shall move on. And I can take up your questions like the other speakers would do as well after my presentation ends, right? At the end of the session. So maybe you could have a quick look on my research projects which have where I have worked and am continuing to do so, and I have received some funding. That is kind of a recognition. So you could get an idea that you would be working on your BTech final year projects. Maybe after that you pursue your MTech and you will be working on your final year MTech thesis followed by a PhD probably. Or even in MBA, if you go, you would be working on certain research projects. That is what we do when we are associated with some college or an institute, academic institutes, universities. However, if you plan to take up a research career in your future, you have opportunities to get your research funded. You cannot sit and work. You need equipment for that. You need manpower. You need to hire manpower. So there are opportunities by which you can get your research funded. So I won't go into much detail of this. What I would like to mention here is that I majorly work on forensic related projects which have been funded in the past, and presently also there are a few projects. If any of the students are you are interested to work, I have some openings as well. So again, you can contact me offline. And some other another one area where I work is application specific image processing. So I have done some research on this, and to be specific, one of these projects have been funded by DST ACRB, right? So it relates to processing of metallurgic images. I would just mention about that. Recent research funding, these are the projects which currently I'm working on. As you can see, I have been talking a lot about forensics. So here is one project where it's about KYC document verification, right? And then image manipulation detection in social networks, given how popular social networks are, and not even a day in our regular life passes without just interacting over social networks, right? So these are the current fundings that are there. So openings are also there. If anyone is interested, you can contact me. Summarizing the specific areas of my work. So if I pinpoint, currently I'm working on cybercrime detection and exploitation, cybercrime detection and exploring, specifically related to social networking sites such as Facebook, Instagram, right? So what are the cyber crimes in the current days which the attackers exploit, given that we communicate over social networks very hugely in the current days, right? Then there is the other problem that currently I'm working on is detection of counterfeit KYC documents. All of us, we know that the standard in India, just like in many of the other nations, is authorization of a person's identity using KYC documents like your Aadhaar card or your passport or voter ID card, right? But how do we know that it is actually the person's, actually the scan, right? You need to provide a scan and you can open a bank account. But anybody who would tamper with the scan that image can do so, and that is happening very widely. If you have gone through the newspapers recently, also a lot of terrorist activities related to this has come up. So all those techniques whereby you authenticate the reliability of such KYC documents, the scan images, is done at a personal level. If you notice, it is done at a personal level, and it is large scale. So in a day, there is a counter where mobile SIM cards are being sold. So lot of persons they come. Suppose when you get admitted to your college, you will see in many institutes they will open as a Airtel will open a counter and they will sell SIM cards very fast. In a day, they will sell maybe hundreds of SIM cards, right? So where is the verification? They do it at a personal level, and this requirement is a large scale requirement. So what we work on is to come up with a small scale solution whereby this verification can be automated, so we do not rely on the person anymore. We give this transfer this responsibility to the machine and do it at a lighter do it in a lighter way. That means there are huge number of documents verified, you can do it accurately plus in a limited period of time. That is the second problem currently we are working on. And of course, machine learning and deep learning, the most burning topic today, right? All of you know. So exploring applications of ML and DL in the context of cyber security. So this is a tool for me. I do not actually do my research on machine learning or deep learning, but we use these as tools to provide cyber security solutions, right? So that is more or less about the kind of research that I do, so that you also get an idea that what are the open opportunities or scopes in this field in the current day, right? So now I shall move on to possibly what is relevant in today's webinar. So as James sir has already told me, you all are BTech students, right? Undergrad BTech students, second, third, and fourth year students. So this is where you are currently. Now let me, and you have traversed a long path to reach here, right? You have qualified your joint entrance exam, you have reached here. After this, what are the opportunities that you can explore? What many people follow. Even I had followed this path when I was in my third year, fourth year BTech, is this path, right? Completing my BTech, I would join industry, right? So we are preparing and we are sitting for different recruitment drives, placement interviews, which our institute arranges, or maybe offline also, full campusing, right? So even I did that. It is good to have those offers in your hand, and it is also a very good idea. Right from BTech you join the industry, and there are successful people. One of our distinguished speakers is also there. But let me tell you today about the other opportunities as well. Many of you might be aware, many might not be. Even I was not. So let me quickly give you an overview of what are the other opportunities that you can explore. So I would start with this one because I have followed this path, right? So after your BTech, you can sit for the GATE exam, right? And enter into an MTech program. Good MTech programs related to information technology, computer science, like other domains as well, are run by reputed institutes like IITs. Especially this slide I have prepared keeping in mind us, the IT students, right? So we, for us, the best options would be to go to IITs, NITs, triple ITs, right? Many good triple ITs have come up, NITs and IITs. New IITs have come up. So you can Google and find out. Lot of opportunities are there. So get a good score, prepare well, get a good score, and get into those institutes. Apart from these, many institutes have their own admission tests as well. So you can keep this in mind. If somehow you miss GATE, if you miss out on qualifying GATE and you want to enter, there are certain institutes who would conduct their own admission tests. Plus, there are some institutes who, apart from GATE, will conduct their own interviews or written tests, like Bangalore IISc. Right. So that is the pathway by which you can enter these programs. Once you have qualified, you have passed your MTech, you can directly join industry after MTech. I'm sorry, there should have been this as well. This path I missed. Okay. Even after MTech, if you pursue and complete an MTech from such good institutes, you would have lots of opportunities where these companies would come and they will conduct recruitment drives during the final semester of your MTech program. So MTech courses are 2 years, 4 semesters. So during the last semester, they will conduct their starting from December till June, the last June, they will conduct their recruitment drives. So you can sit for them and you have a lot of opportunities. After MTech, if you are interested to join a research career or an academic career, you need to appear for selection tests conducted by individual institutes, right? So it is not a common entrance test anymore. You have to apply to multiple institutes where you want to do your PhD, right? And they conduct their selection test. Now there are lots of opportunities outside India as well, where you can join an MS program, and you followed by that you can do a PhD outside. Even after BTech, you can directly join PhD, not only abroad, in India as well. So there are certain requirements in addition to what the MTech students would satisfy, so that you do an PhD after your BTech, right? That is also there. So right after BTech also you can do a PhD. The coursework that you have to do is a little bit more, but that option is also there. And after doing your PhD, you can join academics, you can join a research career. Now you can see there is an overlap. If you join academics, you join a reputed institute as a regular faculty. You are associated with teaching. Maybe some of us might be interested, like I am interested. So academics is good for you, but at the same time, a vast majority of our responsibilities include research. So if you join academics, you can uh, carry out research as well. You can be associated with a lot of research activities, right? And you have to do that. Apart from that, this one, there are lots of scientist posts in government agencies like DST, CSIR. There are CSIR laboratories where you can work as scientists, and all those have their own application and selection procedures after PhD. So at this moment you are too young, so I thought I won't go into that. So here, to go into these careers, again you have to qualify certain tests and there are procedures. But if you do a good PhD, you can get into this easily, right? What is more important is, after PhD, you get very good research positions in the industry, right? Many people are doing that. And I think Samir is one of our speakers today. He is an example who has gone from PhD and he has joined an industry and he is doing a great job, right? So you will hear about this in more detail from him. The other path which many students in the present day are interested, through CAT or MAT qualification, you can do an MBA from IIMs. IITs also run MBA programs, but these are more prestigious if you are targeting to go for an MBA program. After MBA, you can join industry, you get very good managerial posts, and you can also pursue a PhD from, as I have noted down, IITs, NITs, centrally funded, top universities, triple ITs, all those also induct MBA grads, right? So this is more or less the pathway, the career opportunities that you have in IT, apart from what many of us are acquainted with. And let me just conclude this with a small note, a very important note. Do not think that there is no money. On a lighter note, if you are selected for MTech program, you get very good scholarship. What is the exact amount, you can Google and see. I won't mention that here, but it's a good amount. It's a handsome amount. In PhD, you have nowadays very good scholarships, and it has been increased recently by the MHRD, right? Then there is the Prime Minister scheme, where some PhD students from IITs, you have to appear for a test, and if you qualify in IITs, please note it, not in NITs or any other institutes, from IITs, some students are selected who get a scholarship of nearby 1 lakh rupees. Anyway, you are interested in research or your career, that is why you are joining, but this is just a side note, right? So the scholarship amount is really handsome. So there might be some familiar problems. I have seen students who face financial requirements at home, and that is why they were very interested, but they had to go to and pursue some other option. So please do not think like that. The support, financial support that is provided is also, I think, sufficient to spend 3 years, 4 years of time, and then you have a lot of options, right? So it's a nice idea not to niche or narrow down our opportunities and keep the things open. So that is why that was my aim in just showing you these slides. And I think some so next point I would like to mention is, I have already told, do not think that if you want to pursue a research career you have to take up a lot of load. It's not like that. You have a lot of funding opportunities. Even maybe some of you are working on some research papers, maybe conference papers during your BTech days. If your paper gets accepted and you want to attend it, you have to spend a certain registration amount. It is outside India, you have to spend your travel, right? So these cases also, there are funding opportunities. So when you do a good work, there are lots of funding support from our Indian government. And later on, say you are into a research career, you have joined an academic institute or a research institute, you want to get your research funded. There are options whereby you can work as a consultant. You can provide your consultancy to agencies or companies, and they will support your ideas, right, financially. Industry academia collaborations are also fruitful, and these are the ways by which your research can get funded. Okay, even now you are working on some paper, your research can be funded, your conference registration and travel, by there are lots of government schemes, right? So final topic is what should be your focal areas. There are second, third and fourth year students, right? So I have groupified the focal areas into two groups. G1, the most basic ones, without which you cannot move to the second group. Data structures, algorithms, and central one, logic of programming. So it is not about any programming language. So you are appearing for your placement drive. You want to pursue an MTech. You are sitting for the GATE exam, whatever it be. These are the focal points where you need to build a strong base, right? So it's logic of programming. It is not a specific programming language. It does not matter you know C++ or not, you know Python or not. What matters is you can program and build the logic, because tomorrow the language will change. Now the focus is on Python, previously it was Java, tomorrow it will be something else. So what matters is you are proficient in creating the logic, right? Supporting it, data structure, and of course algorithms. It is a very important subject. Then once you are proficient in those, you can move on to group 2, right? This would have discrete maths and automata theory. There is a overlap. Why? Because discrete maths knowledge would help you to achieve the expertise in automata theory. This is a very important subject. Digital logic and computer organization. Note the overlap. Once you have picked up G2 subjects, you move on to G3. And this is the final step: operating systems, database management, and computer networks. Entire professional life, you have to remember these topics, right? You have to be acquainted with this stuff very, very thoroughly. So this will come in your third year, or maybe towards the end of your third year, beginning of fourth year. So these are the three groups. Just keep a note of this and always keep practicing these subjects. It will help you throughout your career. This is my final slide. Here are the emerging trends. If any one of you are interested during your BTech, also you are doing some research which many students do nowadays. These are the emerging trends. These are the hot topics. Cyber security, machine learning and deep learning, IoT, and big data analysis. Right? So I think I have taken up some extra time, so I shall stop here. If you want to know more about this, we can discuss it offline as well. Okay. So I think questions we shall take up after all the speakers are done. So I shall stop here. Thank you. Thanks a lot to all of you.
Thank you, Vichira.
Thank
I
you.
think our student will get some information regarding their future path uh, in industry as well as academia, and also will be able to get the idea. I mean, if they want to go with the academia or with research, what are the topics they will take for their future scope. Thank you, Vichira. And as a token of appreciation from our institute, we want to offer you one e-certificate for your valuable speech. So we'll send it to your email address.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we have with us Miss Shampa Das. Ms. Sampadas has completed her BTech in Information Technology from West Bengal University of Technology, Kolkata, and currently working as an associate consultant at Tata Consultancy Service Limited, Kolkata. She has more than 12 years of experience as a software professional. She has work experience with Java, J2E, Oracle, etc. She is also expert in the areas of service-oriented architecture solution designing and development. She also certified on Dell Boomi, an integrated platform as a service process development. She has extensive experience in requirement analysis, feasibility study, designing, modeling, and development of application, especially in the field of healthcare and retail distribution. She has also good experience in business analysis, design, business process management, and business development. As a whole, she's purely an industry person, and I think from her speech, our student will get benefited and will able to get the idea how they prepare and what are the job opportunities that are present in the industry. I now request Ms. Das to start her session.
Yeah, thank you, Apurva sir, for your nice introduction, and very good morning to all the teachers and our beloved students. So, and thank you, Ruchira, for giving me this opportunity to address our students. Actually, I'm feeling like I'm very good because I'm interacting with the students after a long time, actually.
Thank
I
you.
yeah. I went back to my college long back, and after the COVID, actually, it's we are totally arrested in home. So it's actually it's a good opportunity to talk to with the students because I was a student. I know that when we are in college, we become confused that what should I do, which path I take. And I think Ruchira has explained very beautifully that what are the options you are having with you, how you can achieve that if you are actually focused on your goal. Okay, so it's basically depend on interest, that someone have interest in academics so they can pursue MTech, then PhD, and join as a faculty and research member, and some other things that they may not be like for teaching, so they can go to industry as well, and there are a lot of opportunities there. So first, let me deeply introduce myself actually. So I'm Shampa Dash, and I have completed my BTech in 2007 from Bengal Institute of Technology and Management under WBUT. Okay. So when I basically passed out that time, it was a recession time, And as a new college, because I was in Bolpur, I was thinking that okay, I'll be keeping near to my town. So the college I joined, I was only in the second batch. Okay, so you can understand the experience of placement sale there. So we faced a lot of issues, and there are very few on campus at that time, and there are several off campus. And I admit you that I was very bad in FT. Okay, so I am good at programming logic and other things, but if you tell me that you have to complete it within 10 minutes, okay, then basically I got paralyzed. Okay, I said, okay, that is not my cup of tea. Okay, so basically that is the problem. So there are few on campus, but I was not able to crack the FT. So okay, so don't laugh at me. There are few people who are very good at FT. Okay, so there are 3, 4 guys only get recruited from the on-campus interview who actually my friends, and they are very good in FT and they are doing great job in IT industry now. But after that, the problem becomes if you don't get an on-campus interview or full campus interview that time, and this since there are recession time and our placement sale was also not capable enough. So after passing out, I joined some small company. Okay, and after 1 month of joining, I understand that this doesn't